Hello, I'm Matthew Bronson,
I'm Joey Hartram.
and this is As We See It. Today, we want to spend some time talking about the NDAA. Yet another acronym, it is the National Defense Authorization Act. It was signed into law late in the evening, New Year's Eve, 2011, by the current president at this time, who is President Obama. The first thing I'm going to point out about it is that with all of the unconstitutional, un-Bill of Rights effects that it has on all of us as U.S. citizens, there were certain provisions that Congress did not want to include, but President Obama insisted upon. And one of those is that it applies to U.S. citizens.
And Matthew, I'm holding back here a little, as you know, because
You're about ready to jump out of your skin. You're so crazy about this.
I don't understand. Who signs a law on New Year's Eve as a president of the United States? Was it when does that happen? I don't remember.
I can only give you my opinion, and that is, I'll give you a good example. You are involved in the financial industry.
Very much so.
When a company wants to announce something that is not necessarily favorable about their company or an individual in their company, when do you do it? You do it after the market closes.
They do it Fridays at 4 or 5 o'clock, and that's when you get your pink slip.
So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, I will say is the son of the Patriot Act.
I think it is, and I think it's one that takes away your rights, takes away every right as an American citizen, and it's ridiculous.
Right. Well, I think we would be, if we're saying that we are conveying accurate information, I think it would be unfair to say that it takes away all of your rights.
It takes a lot of them, though, sir.
That could be the end game, and that's the point.
That's where we're going.
We'll go there. All right. Now, the NDAA, besides being the child of the Patriot Act, which prevented us from very, very dangerous behavior, such as carrying a nail clipper on an airplane.
Right, but now they want to put knives back in, but we won't go into that.
But so that is something we can thank the Patriot Act for, and Mr. Ashcroft, who will get his just reward someday.
He will have balance.
Karma
will come back.
Like this Mr. Lacey, we see what happened to him.
Yeah.
All right, so then there are cousins, as I like to think of them.
Cousins to the plans, that's fine.
There is Agenda 21. And this is where maybe there's a shining ray of hope, because now if you're not familiar with the Patriot Act, the NDAA, Agenda 21, or Rex 84, which we'll talk about in a moment,
right?
Go to your favorite search engine and just put them in and spend 5 minutes, and you'll get the bullet points, and then you will be as crazy about this as we are.
And read it. Literally read it. Right. And take your time.
Right. But I'm saying if you do nothing else, just find a webpage that'll give you 5 bullet points, and that'll be enough for you to start going, I can't believe this.
If I could say one thing,
I wish you could just say one thing.
Well, I can't. I talk too much. But, aren't you folks worried out there that somebody can just grab your child, grab you off the street, and decide what they want to decide just because they decide?
But people watching this may not know that that's what all of this is about, or the effect of it. All right, but let me digress. We've got the Agenda 21, which I had said I think possibly is showing some light at the end of the tunnel, because there are states who have said if the U.S. federal government approves Agenda 21, we as a state will not support it.
Right. Well, you wonder if they'll secede as a state. Right. You go back to the laws of the Constitution. So.
Right. Well, I think that's interesting barroom talk, but to realistically, if we want to keep it real,
let's keep it real.
Peace and love. And I am not urban at all. But we're not going to get to the point of cessation.
No.
We may get to the point of nullification, and I will cite you an example of that.
All right, please.
In the last election, which was November 2012, because you might be watching this in 2032.
Yeah, you never know.
We'll still be around.
We will.
2 states, Colorado and Washington State, surprisingly not California, but Colorado and Washington State essentially nullified the Federal Narcotics Act as it applies to the ownership and use of marijuana. It is not decriminalized.
Plain words.
Weed. Not dope, not reefer.
Nah, weed.
Okay. Any marijuana type substance, that it is not now decriminalized. It is now legal. That is nullification.
Yes, it is.
And so that's where a lot of the states have said that they will do the same thing with Agenda 21. Now, Rex 84 is a whole big pile of poop.
Yeah, and so many people are watching us don't even understand it yet until they go back.
Right. Go back, get your favorite search engine. Again, look up, you probably already know the Patriot Act, but look up NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, Agenda 21, which is an initiative of the UN, so you'll see how they planned all this, and then Rex 84, which I don't think, unless the truly awakened Americans have gotten wind of that yet. But that's all about FEMA camps and moving populations around. It's craziness.
Oh, it is.
You know,
it is. It absolutely is.
So you have the thing that I think really sticks in your craw, which is just part of this fiasco that's going on. And as you had said, it's all leading to really the elimination of any citizen rights and dictatorship.
It is dictatorship. When you look
Global
at
government.
When you look at it, they're going to take away our basic rights, and they're going to change the Constitution based on what they feel is okay. Then isn't that saying that our Constitution is not just? And isn't that saying that now they're the government, they're in charge, and no, Constitution's not good today?
And we see it every day now. The fact that they can do illegal search and seizure, but under some of these new acts, they are legal search and seizures. Probable cause has gone away.
It's not probable terrorism. It's you're a terrorist.
We don't need a reason.
We don't know you, so we're just saying.
You're not entitled to an attorney. You're not entitled to that famous one phone call.
Right, no phone call.
You can just be picked up, taken away, never to be seen again. It's like you were just erased, like they do on some of these sci-fi movies, where they just change all the records, and you were never here.
No, and that's it. And you wonder about that. How does the government think that they have a right to do that to you as a U.S. citizen?
I think that's something that we don't really have the answer to yet. And we can say it's all leading towards dictatorship. We're saying it's leading to one global government. It's all the multinational banks, the Morgan Stanley, and all of those people. But just to say that it's to support this big monster machine, I don't know.
I think in response to that, I would say it's our legislature. It's our current legislature that are not doing their job.
I don't think that, well, that's certainly clear. But I don't believe that they're the ones who are driving this ship.
No.
They are pawns just like the president. Right.
Well,
absolutely.
So who do you think's driving the ship?
I think the global bankers are.
Well, I've always thought that because I'm in banking, so I know that.
Now, as I was saying, the thing that really, really gets in your craw is the Second Amendment.
That's correct.
And that's the right to bear arms.
It's our constitutional right, and the only thing that stops a bad gun is a good gun. That's just the reality of it. There is no other reality.
And there are lots and lots of studies and statistics and crime reports put out by our national police, the FBI.
SWAT teams, local sheriff's departments. I have tons of friends in those departments. And you know what they say? Stand up and defend your rights, but try never to pull your weapon if you never have to. That's the whole rule, but you're taught.
That's your advantage.
I
don't have friends. Nobody does to me. You're the only one.
But people are taught, really. If you're really taught how properly to use a firearm and how to protect your family, you won't pull a firearm. The majority of them don't.
But even if you use it incorrectly, the point is that the Founding Fathers put the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, is not so that you can get a high-powered, rapid-fire machine gun and go out and have jollies in the field. They had it because there was no standing army, and if something happened, kind of like when there was the U.S. Revolution, when we felt that England was being unfair to us as colonists, so we revolted against them, right? And so we came together. So they wanted, the Founding Fathers wanted to preserve that, even though we do have a standing army. We want to have the citizenship be able to rise up against tyranny.
And that's the whole thing. And,
Right.
and one point that I want to make is we have some newbie politician out there, we'll leave him as that, who decided to state that, you know, if this gentleman didn't have, and he's talking about Connecticut and the shooting there, okay? So he's saying that, okay, so if he didn't have magazines with bigger clips, there would be less children dead. You are an idiot, sir. You know nothing about guns. You don't know how quick it is to change a clip. Whether I have a 10-round clip or a 15-round clip or a 30-round clip, doesn't matter if I'm fast. So forget that noise.
Right.
Don't fear those politicians. I hate when people get intimidated.
Tell it, brother.
That's just not true. Just don't intimidate the people to dictate what you want, to try to get your legislation through. How about let's do something that makes sense?
What makes sense is that every American becomes an American again.
Yeah.
Go out and find out about the Patriot Act if you don't know all about it, about the NDAA, which is affecting you every day, whether you know it or not. And maybe, you know, you're at a picnic and there are mosquitoes there, and you haven't got stung yet, but eventually you're going to get stung or bit, whatever.
Either way, I understand what you meant.
Right.
And, you know, you don't know, and they may just tap you and go, Matthew, you look like a terrorist today. Well, that's it. You're done.
They may just say, come with me, and not give you a reason. And that is covered, that they are allowed to do that by some of this legislation that has gone through. So besides looking up the NDAA, look up Agenda 21 and look up Rex 84, and you will be a better person. You will be a better American. Not that you aren't a good American now, but it is our responsibility to be informed. I don't know who it was that said that because I'm highly illiterate, but, you know, you get all the government you deserve.
Yes, you do. And now the other thing is, download the Constitution. Read it. Go back and read it.
Carry it on your smartphone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it there for reference so that when you get in an argument with somebody or a heated discussion, as all good Americans should do.
Absolutely. Why not have debates? That's what we were developed on.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Joey, because that's one thing I did want to point out. Everybody's busy. You got a wife or a husband. You may have children. You've got friends. There's
job, stress, life.
Well, there's 15 versions of NCIS on every night.
Right.
There's Lost was on. All kinds of stuff that is entertaining. I'm not saying don't watch TV, don't have a good time, don't play video games.
No, do whatever you want to do and live life.
Take a half hour a day and do some of this research on your own.
Because it's your life that's getting affected.
Right.
It's your life that's going to be changed. It's your life that's going to have a problem when they just come snatch your child or snatch you just because they want to.
And even if you're not the type of family that sits down together and have a family meal, maybe on the way to driving the kids to school or to soccer practice or chess practice.
Yeah, anything.
Talk about it. Say, hey, little Bobby, little Janie.
Yeah, little Mikey, what do you think?
You know, did they talk about this in school today? Oh, they didn't? Well, we're going to go home after you're done and after you're bathed and whatever and ready for bed. We're going to talk about this. We're going to go on the internet and read some of this and then talk to your classmates about it. Ask your teacher to tell you about it.
Your parents, talk to them. The parents have been here for, 30, 40, 50 years longer than you. Ask them what they think because you know what? Those folks have a lot more knowledge and a lot more understanding of government and how it works than most of us do.
Right. So, in conclusion,
yes,
go out and read about Agenda 21, the NDAA, and Rex 84.
And the Patriot Act, please.
Right. And wake up. Wake up, America. It's up to us. It's up to us. Joey said it's up to you. I said it's up to all of us because we're part of it.
But if we don't do it, no one will.
Right. So, for Matthew Bronson,
Joey Hartshorn.
this is as how we see it. So, thank you.